Good evening and thank you for joining us here on WTHR Plus, or I know some of you are on Facebook right now watching us. I'm watching the Facebook stream as well because I want you to tell me how much snow you're seeing where you are, because there's quite a bit of variability. I'll be checking back in with that as the stream wears on. Let's talk about what's happening with the snow that's moved through. Quick burst of snow came through Indy, has really caused some problems on the roadways. We've picked up some additional snowfall amounts. There's about an inch and a half of snow right now on the ground in downtown Indianapolis here at the station, but there's a wide variety of numbers. So far, I've seen as much as 8 inches of snow in Lafayette, as much as 4 inches of snow before it changed over to a little bit of sleet over in Terre Haute. Indy really struggled with that dry air that was in place, but some locations on the north side did realize some higher amounts. Let's talk traffic because, boy, this is a problem. It's not often I see this and we see these yellow or orange shadings all the way across the city. I'll hit one of these cameras first on my computer, and then Colin, my director, he's going to pull up the other camera for me. We did have an emergency vehicle here. Looks like there's another one here. Starting to see some issues. This is on the east side. This is I-65 at 465 south. We're talking about problems where we're starting to see some slide offs here and there. I'll step out of the way of that camera, and Colin, whenever you get the other camera ready to go. This is on the west side where we've been seeing some slide offs here. Looks like one of the 465 at 10th Street exit ramps is really slick right now, so it looks like they may have either a spin out there, or they have shut down that ramp because it is so slippery and is continuing to lead to some problems. Likely going to see much more of this, although the rates are starting to go down a bit, the snow rates that is. So we should see some improvement on the roadways. We're seeing some, I'm really using this camera a good bit because I can tell how heavily the snow is coming down depending on when the camera lens is clear enough and is not snow coated, how much of the buildings I can see. If I can see the buildings, we're maybe dealing with a light to moderate snow. If I'm not able to see those buildings, we're probably dealing with some heavy snow at times. There you see the radar and a little bit of a break there starting to appear to our west. I don't think the snow is going to shut down immediately, but it will definitely become much more showery in nature than that shield of snow that we were dealing with. Let me talk about the radar. Let's go back over to the green screen to show you what we're looking at here. This is where we're seeing this shield of snow move east, and then this becomes much more showery in nature. So the snow isn't done. You may pick up additional accumulation, but it's going to be much more spotty in nature. It's not going to be everyone receives an additional inch or two of snow. It's going to be here and there, some quick bursts, and this is going to cause problems on the interstates because you may be driving along. Hopefully you don't have to be anywhere tonight, but if you are planning to drive, you may be fine. The road has been cleared, and then that quick burst of snow causes a slick spot, and that's how we get into trouble. Starting to also see this rain-snow line continuing to creep to the north. The dry air that was in place actually allowed the temperatures to drop quite a bit and keep our temperatures on the colder side. We're still expecting the temperatures to warm up overnight briefly before a big cool down. How far north will that rain-snow line advance? Well, we'll have to see. I do think the snow totals in Indianapolis, just specifically, really from Indy and maybe down to Greensburg and down to Cincinnati, those totals were cut into by that dry air. But if you're, say, Terre Haute or north of Indianapolis, maybe to Kokomo, to Lafayette, you have seen some higher snowfall totals. I'm still putting those together and getting more information. I'll have to see how those shake out. I've been watching the National Weather Service. You can see some of the snowfall totals to the west. Just now starting to see a few of these totals pop up farther to the east that the system goes. There's one that popped up near Fort Wayne. I'll see if I can click on that one, see if it'll give me a snowfall total. 7 inches of snow. That's what we're looking at there for Fort Wayne. So there are some locations north of Indy that are 7, 8, 9 inches of snow, especially once you get into the northern part of the state. I'll keep checking back with that to see if more of those reports come in. About an hour ago, the National Weather Service said officially at the Indianapolis airport they were just shy of an inch. I think we'll likely be over an inch, maybe approaching 2 inches by the end of the system, but that is a little bit on the lower side from maybe our forecast. But overall, I think we're still in pretty good shape, and I'll show you that here in just a moment. 30 degrees, our current temperature. That burst of snow, as we forecast, has cooled us down a bit. Now we're going to see if that warmer air will start to push to the north, because right now the dry air that was in place has really kind of won the day, and it's kept the temperatures on the colder side. Wind chills are a factor as well. Teens to 20s currently. It's a bit breezy as the system has been moving through. We may have a brief window to see the temperatures warm up enough to cause that melting that I've been talking about before refreezing. But if this dry air stays with us, it may not be enough, or it may be enough that it keeps our temperatures from really melting a lot of the snow. I think that actually may be a good thing, because it keeps the slush from melting and then refreezing. If it can all stay as kind of snow just on the ground and then we see the temperatures drop, that may actually be a better scenario. I adjusted this slightly, and I've been talking about this the last couple of days, where I said, if anything, we may need to kind of slide these together just a little bit, and I think that's what's happened. We had that dry air that ate into some of the totals on the south side of Indy. I think we're going to be well within the 2 to 4 on the north side of Indy. Some of you are already there, especially as it ramps up very quickly from Kokomo to, say, Lafayette, and maybe over to Terre Haute. Terre Haute, really, you're already in the 3 to 4 inch range, but the last report I saw was some of that was changing over to sleet. So some compaction is going to cause that total to look like it's gone down, but you actually have realized as much as 3 inches of snow on the south side of Terre Haute. And then south from there, we've seen some accumulation on Bloomington and Columbus, but that changeover to rain may also complicate things. The snow potential for the rest of this forecast keeps us less than an inch. So I think the bulk of the forecast, or the bulk, I should say, of the snowfall has happened. I think the bulk of what is going to fall has already fallen. We may pick up as much as an inch over the next couple of hours, but I think the bulk of the system is starting to wind down when it comes to snowfall. That's not to say the system is done, because look, we're still expecting that rain-snow line to drift to the north. This could be a little sprinkle or a drizzle. That's also going to cause some glazing as we see the snow that's still on the ground. We'll start to get that little bit of snow melt on the top. And then the temperatures are still expected, I think, between 1 and maybe 6 or 7 in the morning to drop dramatically, bringing us back down. In fact, this new model run, and this is a new model run that came in, actually cools us down even more. It's got our temperatures about 5 degrees, maybe well, let's say about 2 or 3 degrees colder than where they were before, but maybe 5 to 10 degrees cooler than where they are right now. So that's significant. It's going to definitely refreeze, or anything that's out there, any moisture, is certainly going to keep frozen form. There's a live picture right now, I-65. This is the shot we were showing you a little bit earlier at 465. The emergency vehicles that were there have now been moved, and it looks like travel is moving a little bit better. Once the snow rates come down, really we're able to see that the road salt is able to work more effectively. But once it's really competing with those heavy snowbursts that came through earlier, you get issues like this, where the roadways, especially the exit ramps, become very slippery, and we're continuing to see that. Where do we go from here? Well, on Tuesday morning, we could have another round of snow that's going to come through. That could bring us snow before the sun comes up on Tuesday. So Monday looks cold as well, but Tuesday could have a chance for some snow showers early in the day, just making you aware of that. Tomorrow's going to be a cold day. We still have these winter storm warnings in place. And really, because they issue the warnings county by county, I think the northern part of Marion County is verified for this, but the southern part, you probably are wondering why you have the winter storm warning in place. It's kind of like Putnam County over to the west, where you have kind of an elongated county. Parts of the county are seeing those conditions. The other parts of the county may not necessarily do so. Look at this. Overnight tonight, by 1 a.m., we may be well above freezing by 5 degrees, and then dropping quickly down to the 20s before the sun even comes up. That's going to lead to some icy problems in the morning. If you're traveling tomorrow, I want you to be very careful for Sunday. Late day snow is possible on Monday, but I think the next accumulation is going to be on Tuesday. That's going to be before the sun comes up, likely on Tuesday. And then through the rest of the week's forecast, it stays cold. We do get above freezing during each afternoon. Wednesday, Friday, and into Saturday. A couple of flurry chances in there, but the forecast looks to stay cold. Keep it tuned right here to WTHR Plus or social media. But very quickly before I go, let me see if I have any snowfall total amounts that have popped up on the stream. If you want to go back to the radar there, Colin, you're welcome to pop that up. I just want to see if we have any totals that have come up. I'm going to check the stream really quick to see if anybody has put any numbers on the board here for us. Bear with me just 1 second. Well, so far I don't have any totals here in the showing up on Facebook, but keep in mind we still have a little bit more of this event that's going to roll through. We're going to keep an eye on it. Keep it tuned right here to WTHR. We'll have hourly updates through our 11 p.m. newscast, and we'll also have updates on social media and WTHR.com.